First mistake. Spending 5 minutes of research time on where the head gasket is and not 10 minutes of research time on how to fix it. Hi, I thought I'd do a quick little video on the history of me and this truck. I bought it about a month or two ago, well I guess 2 months ago, from a guy on Craigslist, and the text was $400 truck, only needs a new head gasket, should have a new truck that runs great for less than $1,000, and I jumped on it. Now, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and read up a bunch of stuff since then, and if you're going to take away anything from all the videos I'm going to put out, don't buy any kind of car with a leaky head gasket. Just don't do it. Okay, so that's out of the way. If you've already done it, maybe you bought an old truck like I did. It's a 1985 Chevy S10 V6 with overhead valves. And see, I can read. So if you have an old truck, maybe you might learn something, maybe not. But hopefully you might get a laugh out of it, because I try to have a little fun with it. Try not to take it too seriously. But you're with me, and you're pretty much caught up. Oh, yeah, so I guess the second part of the story, I went out and bought the Haynes manual. I took it all apart down to the head and put all new gaskets in, except for the carb gasket and stuff, and missed a few, cut a few corners, definitely cut a few corners. And I did it, and having lots of trouble, coolant leaking and smoke coming out the back that really shouldn't be. The oil looks like it's got water in it again, so I did get it started, which means I took it all apart, put it back together, and it started. But that's not really California smog approved, so we're gonna do it again. Maybe, probably. I'm resigning myself to tearing the whole thing apart again. So hopefully you enjoy the show. Maybe I'll make a few jokes while we're doing it, and let's get started. So what we're going to do today, after it warms up, because I can't feel my hands really, we're going to take off the compressor, because when I put a little pressure into the radiator here, the radiator cap, my buddy and I saw green fluid coming down from a little crevice in here. So we're going to take this off and try to put a little pressure back in here and see if we can replicate that issue. I'm going to take off that bolt, and that should let us swing that over, but I might end up having to take off this one. Well, there's a nut back there that you take off, and I think that would allow me to pull that bad boy right off. So maybe I'll just leave this here. It shouldn't take me 10 minutes. I don't know how good of a view that'll be. So came out here, and I've taken this off, and I've undone the power steering bracket from the head, so we can see here. So that's loose, though that came loose also, which I didn't do, so I must have missed a nut or something. But I have a coolant leak coming from here. So you have the head, the intake manifold, valve cover, and then the block down here underneath this line would be the block. So right where you see this is the head gasket. Excuse the traffic. And then here's the intake manifold gasket between the intake manifold and the head. So I have like straight up coolant, green coolant, leaking through here when we put pressure on the pressure cap. I've already got that started. Now what I didn't do that I should have done was drain everything before I started playing with it. but I wanted to see the coolant leak, so I left the coolant in. Anything that goes to your radiator would have to be, you know, it would just leak out if I took it apart. So I'm gonna drain everything today, so it's not sitting here with coolant in the engine, because I'm sure it is somewhere in there. There's coolant, and we'll take you on that adventure today. Inside of the truck you can see the drain valve. I'm gonna call it a drain valve, though everything I've read calls it a cock valve, which just makes me giggle. So if you've watched any other YouTube videos on the subject, they all pretty much say the same thing. For the radiator, we're going to be draining that first before we drain the oil, just because I feel like doing that first. This right there is not underneath the truck like in most cars. It's on the side, and I'm going to try to get it to go down that little square hole, but no promises to the environment. And you can see the brilliant design from GM Motors here. It almost goes into the hole. Almost. The color is what makes me laugh the most, I think. Hey, we're back. Okay, so I changed that once and started it again, and I think it's pretty much done leaking. But I mean, if you don't know anything about cars like I did when I started this project beforehand, there's also drain plugs for coolant in the engine. So I forgot how much of a pain it is to get to this one, and I also forgot that on this one you probably want to hit the I don't even think I could see it. Well, the oil filter is down there somewhere. There you can see the orange fram. So it's right up above that, so I'm probably going to want to take that off before I try to hit the coolant plug. So we're going to drain the oil now, instead of finishing with the radiator like we should. So I'm going to go do that. First mistake. Hey, so we're under the dangerous truck, and I'm going to drain the oil out of the engine. So this is easy. Everybody should know how to do this. I know where mine is, that guy right there. So I'm just gonna take him off, and I'll try to record what comes out of there, because if there is coolant mixing in with the oil, then the coolant should pop out of there first. I should have a little pool of green, or maybe even just water, sitting at the bottom of the engine there. So I'll try to record that for you. Okay, I feel it. It's pretty freaking loose. There we go. You know, there's a little bit there. It is really milky, but I didn't see any plain old water, so hopefully that's a good sign, and we'll see what the cylinders look like when we get down that far. Hopefully you can see the oil filter up there, and I'm going to take that apart and hopefully not get oil everywhere. So, without further ado, now when I did this the first time, I was completely under the, well, crap, I might have to beat again this time too. I was completely under this, and it went just all over me. Okay, I swear I cracked the thing. Okay. Now we're gonna drop that filter right into the bucket. Oh, alright, here we go. What a stupid decision. I've been slimed. So, the next thing to do is the drain plug, which is that single little hex bolt you see sticking out there right in the middle of the shot. I can't really point to it. That is the drain plug for the left side of the engine, I guess, from if you're driving the truck, it would be on your left. I wanted to show you guys the view I'm getting, because I have to like look this way in order to reach my hand around the bolt, and I'm kind of getting like vertigo because they're they get so fucking close. God damn it. So I wasn't recording. Just pulled the coolant plug on the block, and we're just trickling. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to jack it up. So I'll probably film that too. And wait. Ah, damn, it's not under there. Okay, well, I gotta find the ratchet. I'll be back. I wanted to show you this too. So let's see if we can get this camera down there. So you can see all those wires and scary things colored red and black. And then you can see right there in the middle of the screen the plug. Now that's going to spill coolant all over this general area. I got both drain plugs done. Oil filter, the oil plug is off. They're all drained. Started putting things in 2-liter bottles, you know, trying to be recycle, though I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to do it. And I got another bucket down there to do. I spilt a lot of stuff. I did put kitty litter down, just so you know. I just didn't leave it. Put blankets and kitty litter down and everything else. And then still so much to do. Yeah, well, that's all gonna come off, and then this, you know, a few other little things have to come off, and then we can actually start getting into the engine. It could have been out of a hose, so there's still hope.